Welcome back to the English Daily Podcast. I'm Anna, and today we're talking about something that everyone wants more of: happiness. Have you ever wondered what actually makes us happy? Is it money, success, good relationships, or something else entirely?
Hey everyone, I'm Jake. And Anna, that is such a great question. I think most of us spend our whole lives chasing happiness without really understanding what it is. So today, we're going to explore the science of happiness, what researchers have discovered about how our brains experience joy, satisfaction, and fulfillment.
That's right, Jake. And before we dive in, let me introduce a useful vocabulary word: well-being. Well-being means the state of being comfortable, healthy, and happy. It's a broader concept than just happiness. It includes feeling good about your life, having purpose, and managing stress effectively. So when scientists study happiness, they're really studying well-being.
Great word. And here's something fascinating: the Harvard study of adult development, which followed people for over 80 years, found that the number one predictor of happiness is not money, not fame, not career success. It's the quality of our relationships. The people who had the strongest social connections were the happiest and healthiest over their lifetimes.
That's amazing, 80 years of research. Let me highlight another key word: social connections. This means the relationships and bonds you have with other people, family, friends, colleagues, neighbors. It's not about having hundreds of friends on social media. It's about having deep, meaningful connections where you feel understood and supported.
Exactly. And there's another important concept called the hedonic treadmill. This is the idea that no matter how much good stuff happens to us, a promotion, a new car, a bigger house, we quickly get used to it and return to our baseline level of happiness. So chasing external things doesn't lead to lasting happiness.
The hedonic treadmill, that's a powerful metaphor. Vocabulary note: hedonic relates to pleasure and enjoyment. A treadmill is a machine you walk on without going anywhere. So the hedonic treadmill means running after pleasure but never really getting anywhere permanent. So how do we actually increase our happiness if external things don't work?
Well, that's the exciting part. Research shows that about 50% of our happiness is determined by genetics. That's our baseline. 10% is due to life circumstances, where we live, how much money we make. But here's the good news: about 40% of our happiness is within our control. It comes from our intentional activities, the things we choose to do every day.
40% is huge. That means we have significant power to shape our own happiness. So let's talk about some of those intentional activities. One of the most powerful is practicing gratitude. Studies show that people who write down 3 things they're grateful for every day feel significantly happier after just a few weeks.
Gratitude is a game changer. Let me explain the word gratitude. It means the quality of being thankful and appreciative. It's not about pretending everything is perfect. It's about noticing the good things that already exist in your life, like a warm cup of coffee in the morning, a kind message from a friend, or a beautiful sunset. When you train your brain to notice these things, you literally rewire your neural pathways toward positivity.
That's such a practical tip. And here's another one: acts of kindness. Doing something nice for someone else, even something small, boosts your own happiness more than you might expect. Researchers call this the helper's high. Vocabulary: helper's high is the feeling of euphoria and warmth you get from helping others. It's real, your brain releases endorphins and oxytocin when you're kind.
I love that. So let's all try to do one small act of kindness today. It could be complimenting a coworker, holding the door for someone, or sending a thoughtful message. And here's another key finding: experiences make us happier than possessions. Buying a concert ticket, going on a trip, or taking a cooking class brings more lasting joy than buying a new phone or a designer bag.
Why do you think experiences make us happier than things, Jake?
Great question. First, experiences create memories that we can revisit and share with others. Second, we tend to compare experiences less. Your vacation is unique to you, but your phone might be older than your friend's phone. And third, anticipation is part of the joy. Looking forward to a trip or an event can be almost as enjoyable as the experience itself.
That's so true. Let me teach you another word, anticipation. Anticipation means looking forward to something with excitement and pleasure. It's the happy feeling you get before something good happens. So when you plan an experience, you get happiness before, during, and after it.
Exactly. And here's another scientifically proven happiness booster, exercise. I know, everyone says exercise is good for you. But specifically for happiness, even 10 minutes of moderate exercise can improve your mood. Exercise releases endorphins, which are chemicals in your brain that make you feel good. It also reduces stress and anxiety.
And you don't need to run a marathon. A brisk walk in nature combines two happiness boosters, exercise and being outdoors. Research shows that spending time in nature reduces rumination, which is another useful vocabulary word. Rumination means repeatedly thinking about the same negative thoughts. Spending time outside breaks that cycle and helps you feel more calm and positive.
Okay, so let's recap what we've learned today. First, strong relationships are the most important factor for happiness. Second, the hedonic treadmill means external things don't bring lasting joy. Third, about 40% of our happiness is within our control. Fourth, practice gratitude, do acts of kindness, choose experiences over possessions, and exercise regularly.
That's a wonderful summary. And I want to add one more thing, mindfulness. Mindfulness means paying attention to the present moment without judgment. When you're mindful, you're not worrying about the future or regretting the past. You're fully experiencing what's happening right now. And research shows that mindful people are generally happier and less stressed.
So here's a quick practice you can try today. Take 30 seconds to notice your breath. Just feel the air going in and out of your body. Notice the sounds around you. Notice how your body feels. That's mindfulness. And the more you practice it, the easier it becomes to access that calm, happy state.
Speaking of practical tips, let me share another research-backed strategy called savoring. Savoring means deliberately paying attention to a positive experience and trying to keep the feeling going. For example, when you eat something delicious, don't rush through it. Notice the flavors, the textures, the smells. When you're watching a sunset, pause and really take it in. Savoring extends the positive emotions you feel.
Savoring, that's a wonderful word. And it connects to something called positive emotions broaden and build theory. This is a concept from psychologist Barbara Fredrickson. It says that positive emotions don't just make you feel good in the moment, they actually broaden your mind, helping you see more possibilities, and they build your long-term resources, like stronger relationships and better coping skills.
That's fascinating. So happiness isn't just a nice feeling, it's actually good for your brain and your future. Let me add another vocabulary word, resilience. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from difficulties and setbacks. People who practice gratitude, mindfulness, and savoring tend to be more resilient. They recover faster from tough times.
And here's one more thing, sleep. I know we talk about sleep a lot on this podcast, but it's because it's so important. When you don't get enough sleep, your brain's emotional centers don't work properly. You become more sensitive to negative things and less able to experience positive emotions. 7 to 9 hours of good sleep is a foundation for happiness.
That's a great point. And let's talk about one more happiness strategy that's often overlooked, finding your flow. Flow is a state where you're completely absorbed in an activity, time seems to disappear, and you're fully focused on what you're doing. It could be playing an instrument, painting, coding, gardening, or even having a deep conversation. People who regularly experience flow report much higher levels of happiness and life satisfaction.
Flow is amazing. Vocabulary note, flow, in this context is not about water. It's a psychological term for that feeling of being in the zone. The key to finding flow is matching the challenge of an activity with your skill level. If it's too easy, you get bored. If it's too hard, you get anxious. But when it's just right, that's where flow happens.
So let's quickly review the vocabulary we've learned today. We have well-being, social connections, the hedonic treadmill, gratitude, helper's high, anticipation, rumination, mindfulness, savoring, resilience, and flow. That's 11 new words and concepts. Practice using them in your daily conversations to make them stick.
And here's a homework challenge for our listeners. For the next 7 days, try this. Every evening, write down 3 things you're grateful for. Do one small act of kindness each day. Spend at least 15 minutes doing something that gives you flow. And take a 5-minute mindfulness break. Just these 4 small habits can transform your happiness level in 1 week.
That's the perfect way to end this episode. Thank you all for listening to the English Daily Podcast. We hope you learned some useful vocabulary and practical tips for your life. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with a friend who might also want to improve their English.
And don't forget to check the show notes for our vocabulary list. All the words we discussed today: well-being, social connections, hedonic treadmill, gratitude, helper's high, anticipation, rumination, mindfulness, savoring, resilience, and flow, are written out with definitions and example sentences. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time on the English Daily Podcast.
Keep learning, keep smiling, and keep building your happiness, one small habit at a time. Bye for now.